In this video, guys, we're going to go through different locations that you can purchase for under $450,000. Now, this price range is getting incredibly difficult to buy these days, but there are some locations that you can be considering. And before we go into the video, I want to state that I would personally never consider any of these locations as an investment opportunity under this price point. And the reason for that is simple. These are all small regional towns which aren't necessarily good for a long-term hold, but out of the rest of the smaller towns, these are some of the best that you could be considering at this point in time. So without further ado, let's get into the first location here, and that location is Tomora. Now, I might be saying that incorrectly, but it's a very small town pretty close to the Canberra CBD, which you can see on the map right here, and it's a location with a little bit of potential going into 2026, and it's a nice little town. And when we start to look at the data, we can see the median buy price is around $450,000 with a yield of around 4.2%. So not the best deal for such a small town, but it's still a decent acceptable yield that you could be considering. And when you look at the past history of this location, you can actually see it has been a very steady grower over a long period of time with no major downturns or no major cyclical movements, which is what we like to see. Because in mining towns, for example, you'll often see peaks and troughs, which can be quite a volatile market to consider. But in this market, you can see it's quite steady growth. Now, rental growth has been pretty poor with only 0.5%, but that's kind of across the board the country at this point in time. And when we look at the socioeconomics and the fundamentals of the location, you can see it's an ERSAT score of 3, which is pretty good for a small town. It's also got 25% renters to owner-occupier ratio, which means a lot of people who live in this town are owners, are people who actually want to live there, even though it's a small town, and that is a good sign for us to see. And when we look at the affordability of that location, a lot of those owners can easily afford a place like this, which will only take 27 years to pay off, which means the suburb itself is extremely affordable. And now when we look at the data itself, you can see the stock on market isn't like on a massive downtrend like we see with some other smaller regional locations. It's been on a steady downtrend with more listings coming on the last couple of months. But what is positive to see is that the days on market or the demand side of the equation is picking up. It is becoming seriously more competitive to purchase in this area. And we can see the inventory is only about 0.89 months. So very a low amount of listings in general, and the vacancy rate is under 2%, which is great to consider. So when you look at the data side of things, Tomora is a good location to be considering at this point in time, and you can see that price raises have already started occurring over the past couple of months, and you can cross-reference this information with the vacancy rate of around 2%, so it's looking very steady overall, and rent raises is around 3.8% or 0.5 according to H-tag, depending on which source you prefer to use. Now, with all these small regional towns, we don't want to be considering mining towns. So it's important to look at the economic diversity of the location. Now you can see it's mainly agriculture and forestry in that location, with about 55% of its exports focusing on that. And then the others coming from electricity, gas, and waste maintenance. And when we look at the employment diversification, you can actually see it's fairly diversified even though it's a small town. Agricultural, forestry, healthcare and social assistance, education and training, retail trade, and more. So even though its exports are mainly skewed towards agriculture and forestry, you can see it's relatively economically diversified with no sector taking up more than 25%, which is a positive sign for us to see as an investor. And when you're looking at a property, you can purchase a 5-bedroom, a 1-bathroom property like this for $441,000. It's a decent home. You can see it probably got fibrous ceilings, but I could be wrong. Decent interior, well maintained. It's clearly been renovated at some point. A nice weatherboard house. Nothing too flashy, nothing too smashing. A simple home that you can purchase for under that price point. And before I go any further, guys, if you haven't already, jump into the private community. Start your 2026 the right way and purchase smart assets. It's literally $35 a month. It's a subscription service. You get access to the private community. You get personalized one-to-one mentorship. You get deal vetting so you know what properties you're buying. You can access the suburb watch list, and you also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like the product, you don't like the service, we'll give you money back, no questions asked. It is a smashing service, guys. Go and try it out. You will not regret it. It will be your best use of money. In fact, I am recording this on the new year, and you can see my best decision of 2025 was not a property purchase. It was joining this community, guys. So please jump in. You won't regret it. Let's get back into the video. Now, the next location I want to talk to you guys about is Hamilton in Victoria. Now, this location I have covered a couple of times before as well, and it's a good location to consider in general. So when we start to look at the data, we can see a $450,000 median buy price with a 4.5 4.5% yield or about that. Now, Hamilton is a location that has gone through a general steady rise, but then went through a very strong COVID boom, I like to say, and then a lot of stagnation after that point in time. But that is much like the rest of Victoria. And now we can start to see that prices are slowly starting to elevate. It's still early days, but it is a location that is slowly starting to show some promise with the 1/4 change at 0.55%. Median rents haven't been really rising once again. And we can see that much like Temora, the socioeconomics, the fundamentals are good. 3 ersatz score, 23 rent to owner occupier ratio means people actually want to live there. And when we look at the affordability, it once again is very strong. It's sitting at 25 years. So there's plenty of room for it to grow and for owners still to be able to afford that location. And once we start to look at the data, we can start to see very, very positive signs. We can see stock levels have been dropping consistently and have been getting smaller and smaller every month. And demand not as strong as you'd expect for the limited amount of stock, but it's still on a flat to downward trajectory, which is good to see as an investor. And the vacancy rate is extremely tight, 0.82%, which means finding a tenant will be incredibly easy. Now, we did see a small increase in vacancy over the last couple of months. This could be a seasonal change and it could start to drop again. So I'm not too concerned about that because the overall vacancy is incredibly low. And once again, very important to look at the economic diversity of the location. And we look at the industry sector of employment, we can see that it is broken down into healthcare, retail trade, construction, education and training, and agriculture and forestry, where once again, no sector takes up more than 25% of employment. This is important to us so that the location is not hinged on one industry. Now, yes, healthcare is still a big component of that. If something were to happen to that, it's not great for the location, but it's very unlikely something is going to happen to the healthcare industry in that location, unlike if it was a small mining town, where if one mine closed, then everything is ruined. And this is an example property that you could be considering. Now, this is a very simple example, $325,000, so super cheap. It's basically peanuts. And when you look at a property like this, clean interior, it's cleanly been renovated. It is a weatherboard house, but something like this you can pick up if you have a very limited budget and if you have a very specific strategy, and you can do pretty well for yourself. Now, the next location I wanted to go over is Morwell. And for those of you who don't know where Morwell is, it is part of the wider Latrobe region and fairly close to Melbourne CBD, but it has its own strong economy into a certain extent. And when we start to look at the data, $400,000 median buy price with a 5% yield or so. So very good yield when you really think about it. And you can see Morwell has been rising over the past couple of months with the year change at 11%. And that is general for Latrobe region, where it has started to perform very, very strongly due to affordable prices and high yields, and has been an investor goldmine over the past 12 months or so. Rents haven't been really rising. And when we look at the socioeconomics, it's not the best suburb from a socioeconomic perspective. With an ersatz score of 1, it's a bit more rougher area compared to Traralgon in the Latrobe area, but it still has a healthy rent to owner occupier ratio at 34%. But the key thing that is good to see is that affordability is just above 30 years, and we like anything below 35 years, and this is well below that metric. And so this can be a location you could consider. And when you look at the supply and demand mechanics, once again, it is extremely strong, where stock levels are rapidly falling over the past couple of months, and demand is very strong, with properties being sold less than 60 days and inventory only lasting about 0.6 of a month. So very, very strong data metrics that we have. But there is one yellow flag to an orange flag, and that is the vacancy rate, which is sitting at 2.7%, which is very high, which means that your properties will take longer to rent. So you really need to account that when you go to look to buy a property in Morwell. Now, it's not just good to talk about the data, but we have to look at the economic diversity. Now, I have covered Latrobe far deeper in a deep dive video, so please go check that out. But when you look at Morwell, it's broken up into healthcare, public administration, safety, manufacturing, retail trade, and more, which is good from an economic diversity perspective of employment. And when you look at the exports of it, it's mainly manufacturing, electricity, gas, and water services. And this is true for most of Latrobe in general. And so while its exports aren't the most diversified, its employment is diversified, which is a good thing for us to consider. And look, normally with these smaller towns, you're not going to get major economic diversity in terms of exports. They're usually producing 1 or 2 things at most, but overall employment is diversified, which is what we like to see. And when you look at a property like this one is just above the 450k mark. It's 460. Do better on negotiation, guys, and you'll be able to get it for 450. Something like this is a decent weatherboard property, probably in the 1950s. It was built 1960s, but it's been renovated and well maintained since then. And overall, a pretty good property for the price that you're getting, with almost 600 square meters of land. So if you're considering under 450, this is another location that you should be adding to your list. And the next location I want to talk about is Nara Court in South Australia. Sorry if I butchered the name, but this location is and has shown good potential for growth. And when you start to look at the data, once again, 460 median buy price, 3.8% yield. It has dropped because it has been performing over the past couple of years, where the past 3-year growth is around 28% and rents haven't been really rising, as you can see. And this has been a problem, hence the yield has compressed. It's what you usually expect with growing areas. And when you look at the fundamentals, you can see the ersatz score of around 2, so not the best, but still acceptable, and the rent to owner occupier ratio at 27%. So once again, a lot of owners like living here, and affordability is very strong, under 30 years, around 25 years, so still plenty of room for the location itself to grow. Now, I have included this location even though a couple of metrics aren't the best looking, because I think it still has potential over time. When you look at the stock on market, you can see more and more listings have come on the market over the past couple of months since October, which isn't the best, but the overall stock on market 0.17%, very low. Inventory only 0.53 months, so very low stock, even though it's been rising over the past couple of months. Days on market 71 days, not the best, but when you look since Jan of last year, the actual days on market has been falling, so very good in that aspect. And the vacancy rate is only 0.99%, so very tight rental market, even though rents haven't been rising. This is something that could be on your watch list as well. And when you start to look at the economic diversity of the location, you can see that it's mainly into manufacturing, agricultural and forestry, and retail trade, as well as healthcare services. So big industries, good economic diversification in terms of employment, and hence why it's on the list, because finding small regional towns with economically diversified in terms of employment is difficult, and this is one of those locations. And here I have an example of a property you could consider on 14 Asahi Road. I'm just going to call it Asahi because I can't say that name. You can see it's a decent brick asset on a decent piece of land, fairly modern interior, something that you could just rent out straight away. There's way too many trees for my liking on this property, by the way, and the floor plan is a little bit messy, but overall it is a simple property that you could be considering for under 450k, sold in November of 2025. So if you are looking for those special type of assets, this is something you could be considering, and this location. And we just have one more location I want to talk about, guys. I know I've talked about a couple, but just watch through till the end of the video. Now, the last location I want to talk about is Arat. Now, once again, I don't know if I'm saying the name wrong, but Arat is a location that has been growing relatively over the past couple of months. It's become very popular, even though it's a very small regional town, and it's relatively close to Melbourne CBD, not exactly the closest, but it is a location worth considering on this list. Now, once again, once you look at the data, it's very positive for an investor. $400,000 median buy price, 5% yield, very good overall. And when we start to look at the data, it's starting to increase in value with a almost 1.2% quarter change, and I would likely see that improve over the next couple of months or so. Median rents haven't been really rising, and when you look at the socioeconomics, once again, good for a small town. 2 ersatz score, not the best, not the worst, but 26 rent to owner occupier ratio. Owners want to live there. Now, when we look at the affordability, it's once again extremely affordable. Only 25 years to own a property in this location. It's super affordable. Now, stock on market and days on market. When you look at the data, stock levels are falling, tick, tick, tick. Demand, days on market has been increasing over the past couple of months, but I would honestly say that by talking to people in the area, it's still been fairly competitive to secure a property. So I think that should improve over the next few months or so, but you can double check with the sales agent yourself. Overall, very low stock levels in terms of listings, and inventory is only 0.86 months. But the red flag that you want to see is the vacancy rate at 3.41%. So that is a bit of an issue. Normally, if you just use your normal filtering metrics, this will be removed entirely. It's too high for my liking, but for those who want a tight budget, want a good location to consider, you still could consider it if you can confirm with the property manager that your property can be rented out quicker than a month, in my opinion. But vacancy is quite on the rise, which isn't the best overall. But overall inventory is just falling, so that's great to see. And when we look at the economic diversification, it is mainly healthcare, manufacturing, public administration, safety, and retail trade. So overall, economically diversified for a small regional town. And then you can go and pick up an asset like this. Once again, it's 470, not under the 450, but this is a 4x3, guys, so you can definitely find a 3x1 for 450 or less. And this is a stellar interior. It's clearly been renovated. Some parts of it are still old, but overall a very nice, neat and tidy property that you can consider for around 450. And so you guys should jump on it if you see an asset like this. Now, that covers a lot of the locations you could consider under 450k in Australia. Now, there's definitely locations I'm going to have missed. I can't make this video an hour long, but once again, I want to stress that I would personally never consider any of these locations for a long-term investment. I'm a buy and hold investor that holds properties for 20 plus years, and holding in small regional towns is not the way I like to invest. For that same price point of 450, you could be considering townhouses and low density units in some of the most major regional hubs that have still grown around 5.5% over the past 30 years. So please do your due diligence. Please consider your risk appetite when considering these locations. If you have any questions, jump into the private community, guys. The prices will be increasing soon, so you don't want to miss out. Jump in today, guys.